morning, children. Welcome to SST class. In today's class, we are going to study History Unit 2. The name of the lesson is The Post-Mauryan India. Children, before we go to study the lesson, let us see the learning objectives. Learning objectives. To acquire knowledge of the history of dynasties and kingdoms that emerged after the breakup of the Mauryan Empire. To gain an understanding of the polity, society, economy and culture of various kingdoms that were established in the south, north and northwest of India. To become familiar with their contributions to early medieval India. Now let us see the introduction. The breakup of Mauryan Empire resulted in the invasions of Sakas, Scythians, Parthians, Indo-Greeks or Bactrian Greeks and Kushanas from the northwest. In the south, Satavahanas became independent after Ashoka's death. There were Sungas and Kanvas in the north before the emergence of Gupta dynasty. Chedis, that is Kalinga, declared their independence. Now you can see that clearly in the picture. See, post-Mauryan India, after Mauryan's period, in the north side of India was ruled by Sungas and Kanvas, whereas in the south it was in the hands of Satavahanas. And in the northwest, Indo-Greeks, Sakas, Parthians and Kushanas were ruled. Let us go to study about these dynasties in detail. Now let us see the sources. When we want to study history, we need some sources. Here the sources are there. Let us see. First of all, archaeological sources. Inscriptions. Inscriptions are what? Written evidences. Ayodhya inscription of Dhanadeva, Persepolis, Nakshirastam inscriptions. Moga, Taxila copper plate. Junagadh and Girnar inscriptions. Nasik Prasasti inscription of Darius I. These are the inscriptions available. Then coins. Coins of Satavahanas, coins of Cadphises II and the Roman coins. Next, literary sources. Puranas, Gargi Samhita, Ashyasarida of Banabhatta, Maghabhashya of Patanjali, Brihadathatha of Gunadhya, Madhyamika Sutra of Nagarjuna, Buddha Charita of Ashwagosha and Malavidagnimitra of Kalidasa. Next, foreign notice. Accounts of Xuanzang, the Chinese Buddhist monk and traveler. All these are the sources available to study about this post-Mauryan of India. First, we can study about the Sungas and Kanvas in the north. In the second term, when we studied about the Mauryan emperor, we studied that last Mauryan emperor was whom? Brihadrata. He was assassinated by his own general. Who was that? It is nothing but Pushyamitra Sunga. And he established his Sunga dynasty in Magadha. Then Pushyamitra made Pataliputra as his capital. Pushyamitra's kingdom extended westward to include what? Ujjain and Vidisha. He included these two parts also. Which are the parts? Ujjain and Vidisha. He successfully repulsed the invasion of Bactria king. Who was that Bactria king? Menander. But Menander managed to keep Kabul and Sindh with him. The Kalinga king Karavela attacked Pushyamitra, but it was defeated by Pushyamitra. And Pushyamitra also conquered Vidarbha. He was a strong follower of Vedic religion. He performed 2 Aswamedha yagas, that is horse sacrifices. Why? To make his kingdom very strong. During the Sunga period, stone was replaced by wood in the railings and the gateways of the Buddhist stupas, as seen in Bharuch and Sanchi. Pushyamitra was succeeded by his son Agnimitra. After Pushyamitra, who came to the ruling? Agnimitra, his son. This Agnimitra is said to be the hero of Kalidasa's Malaviga Agnimitra. Such a brave king he was. The drama also refers to the victory of Vasumitra. Who is Vasumitra? Agnimitra's son, over the Greeks on the banks of the Sindhu river. The weak successors of Sungas constantly faced threats from the Indo-Bactrians and Indo-Parthians. So after this, Agnimitra, his son Vasumitra came. After that, the successors were very weak, so that they got threatened from the Indo-Bactrians and Indo-Parthians. The Sunga dynasty lasted for about 100 years. How many years they were ruling? 100 years. The last Sunga king was Devabhudi. Who was the last Sunga king? Devabhudi. He was killed by his own minister Vasudeva Kanva. He was killed by whom? His own minister Vasudeva Kanva. Here the Sunga dynasty came to end. The Vasudeva established the rule of Kanva dynasty in Magadha. So this is the beginning of the Kanva dynasty. Is it clear, children? Now let us see the importance of the Sunga period. The Sungas played an important role in defending the Gangetic Valley from the encroachments of the Bactrian Greeks. They were protecting the Gangetic Valley from whom? From the Bactrian Greeks. Pushyamitra and then his successors, those who came after him, revived Vedic religious practices and promoted Vaishnavism. Sanskrit gradually gained ascendancy and it became the court language. They started giving importance to Sanskrit. Patanjali, the second grammarian in Sanskrit, he was patronized by whom? By Pushyamitra. The Pushyamitra persecuted Buddhists, torturing the Buddhist monks. During his period only, the Buddhist monuments at Bharhut and Sanchi were renovated and further improved. The great stupa of Sanchi and the railings which enclose it belonging to the Sunga period only. King Karavela, he was the ruler of Kalinga. He was a contemporary of the Sungas. He belongs to the same period of Sungas. We can get information about this Karavela from the Hathigumba inscription, which you are seeing on the screen now. Okay. Next we can study about the Kanvas. The Kanva dynasty produced 4 kings and their rule lasted only for 45 years. How many years they ruled? Only for 45 years. In the history of Magadha, after the fall of the Kanvas until the emergence of the Gupta dynasty, there were no important events happened. The important Kanva rulers were Vasudeva, Bhumimitra, Narayana and Suserman. The last Kanva ruler, that is Suserman, he was assassinated. Assassinated means killed by his powerful feudatory chief of Andhra named Simukka. This Simukka only laid the foundation of the Satavahana dynasty. So, now the Satavahana dynasty is started. That's all today's class, children. We will meet in the next class. Till then, bye children.